Man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We did a stream a few days ago, and we covered a Breanna Micciolo interview that she did with Toddy One Skip, and she really goes into detail with how she feels about how the media covered her story, about how the trial affected her life. She also speaks about what Gregor, what she really feels he deserved in the trial. So we're going to go ahead and check this out. This was a live we did a few days ago, so I'm going to give you guys all the best little snippets. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And I mean, each interview she does, it becomes more and more informative. We find out some more details that we never heard before. So get the popcorn. Let's run the clip. All right, folks. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and check this video out. We got Toddy One Skip in the building. Make sure you guys go check her channel out. Everybody show her some love. She actually got this interview, man. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this interview from her. And just boom. I was like, oh shit. Well, there you go.
It was just like news and TV for them.
Right,
So
right, right.
like that definitely like after that one I was like I think I'm close to done with doing interviews with like the bigger people.
Right. Did they have did was there coverage like that while the trial was going on? Was there like news coverage? Was there a lot of news coverage, or was it more like the internet and social media?
Yeah, it was mostly social media. I think there was like a no local news station from like our area that was there, but it was mostly like, Court TV. I think News Nation was there and then a few other people.
And we have all these 24-hour news channels, right?
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. So, all right. Well, how do you feel about the verdict?
So I really would have liked him to get life in prison. I mean, if there was a death penalty here, I would have liked that. So, in the beginning, everyone was saying it's a hard case to prove because we can't prove what he did to Corey that day. So they were telling me it was hard. So I was just kind of grateful for this sticking for the, aggravated manslaughter.
Right.
And, there's a few times I was like, oh my God, is this gonna happen? Is he gonna be found not guilty on everything? So when they said that, I was just, I was very grateful for that. But like I said, I wish, I hope the judge gives him like what he can, the most he can, which I think he will. Like
Do
just
you
judging.
you do think you will? You got a good feeling about the judge, that the judge.
Yeah, so this judge has been on Chris's like case since, we've been going to court like, small hearings, not a trial, but he's been the judge throughout the last 2 years since he's been in jail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've been to all the court hearings, so I get the vibe, I guess, from him that he's very fair and impartial, and that's what was shown kind of during the trial. Like I
Right.
know it seemed like, oh yeah, he's on their side, but I think his biggest thing was he was trying to avoid an appeal or at least a winnable appeal.
Right, right, right.
So
What's up, Megan? How you doing? How you doing?
Right.
yeah, I think that was his goal. But I think he saw through Chris. I think he saw through Mr. Acquittal and
And he
Mr. Acquittal. Shit. When I tell you, man, that guy looked like a cartoon character. What's his name? Gillespie or some shit? No, Mario Galucci. This is my favorite picture of him right here. My ultimate favorite picture. Mr. Acquittal himself. Lord have mercy. Scorpio vibes never fail. Oh no, I appreciate you, member. Not member. I appreciate you, Gemini. You're awesome. Yeah, no, this guy is a fucking douchebag.
he saw a
yeah,
lot more than the jury saw, obviously.
absolutely. Yeah, I think he knows more about this case than, he reads the documents. He went through all these documents. Some of them are sealed that like no one else can see except him.
Right, right,
So he knows everything. And if he's, a normal human being like us, he's gonna feel the same way.
right, right. I was
Yeah.
just wondering how, about David Gregor, like what his pull is in
Yeah.
that, how far does his tentacles go, you know?
So I think before this happened, before Chris killed Corey, I think it was a lot stronger. But then people kind of backed off once it came to, you know, a child, thankfully. But, you know, as far as, you know, with DCPMP and why no one was listening before this, I think it was because of him. He knew everybody, you know, cops, government workers, judges. Like it was very strong before this happened.
I wonder if that was really the case because I mean, the guy was just a fucking state trooper. Like, let me look at the judge. The guy was just a state trooper. How much pull did he actually have? What's his name? Um, Chris Gregor trial judge. Chris Gregor. Yeah, this is the judge right here. He was on it though. He was not playing no games. He was, and it's like, you know, he did very well to not get emotional. That's the one thing. He didn't have his emotions. He didn't get angry. He didn't. He was just right there, empty as a shell.
Yeah, so you think that people have now backed away because nobody wants to get that dirty,
Absolutely, yeah.
basically.
Hmm.
Yeah. And what do you think about the other lawyer, Gallucci? Do you think he helped or hurt you? Because a lot of people did not like him, and I would
Yeah.
think that a lot of the jury didn't like him, which would have helped your case, you know, which would have helped, you know.
Yeah, I think it helped a lot that Mario was his lawyer. He could have done a lot better. His, you know, his just argumentative kind of like personality. He's yelling at the jury, and I was able to see the jury. I don't think they showed it like on TV or
No.
whatever. Okay, so I can see them going like they're like taken aback a little bit, like who are you yelling at? And it's like
And
so
what was I saying? He the louder you are, the more correct you are, right? It was like he found a plot break, a plot hole, and he was like, "See, I exposed it. We understand now." What was it? I think it was because he had tried to accuse her of doing drugs the same day, and he was like, "And on that day, you were still trying to get drugs." And I was like, I was kind of looking, I was like uncomfortable. You know when you get that secondhand cringe, it's like you feel the cringe for that person. It's just like, oh, that feels icky, you know, that feels yucky. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the entire jury felt that way. It's like, what the fuck are you? Come on, bro.
yeah, he I don't think it helped him at all. And I'm surprised that's the way he went.
I don't think that nobody liked the way that he spoke to you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, nobody liked that at all. That wasn't a good look. And I can't
Hmm.
imagine why. I had people in my comments saying, well, he's only behaving like that so that because he's really working against, you know, Chris, that he was working against Chris without Chris knowing it. And then that stuff
That's
came
That's
out
funny.
that we
stupid.
found out about. And I was like, no, he's just a scumbag.
He is.
That's what he is.
And
When we
that,
found out
hold
about,
on.
you know, his
And wouldn't that be illegal to like work against your client? That would be fucked up. I would actually be against that because sure Chris is a piece of shit, but what if your client looked all the signs of a piece of shit, but he wasn't? And then you're working against your client? That sounds like that just sounds illegal. Like if you're representing somebody and you're actively working against them just because you think they're wrong or something, I feel like if you feel that way, just don't take the case.
I was like, yeah, he's just a scumbag. Yeah.
Yeah. So he I've known him, not known him personally, but he's been Chris's lawyer since like day two. You know, April 3rd, I think he got him. So I've seen him at court hearings. He's obviously been not part, but he snoops on my group, Justice for Corey. And
Of course. I mean, I feel like all lawyers do that. You know, they do their homework.
so I think he's a scumbag also. And it's one thing to defend your client, but he went over that line and just became an asshole. The way he was pointing at me during closing arguments and just saying nasty things. I don't think that was necessary. That's not defending someone. That's just being a bad person.
Yeah, but I think that that's the way it came across too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That he really didn't help his client so much as, you know, I think that he helped the opposite side because he did look so bad. And people
Yeah.
like, why what are you doing this to this woman for? She didn't do anything. You know, you can yell
Yeah.
and scream, but it just didn't the math didn't math for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
didn't make any sense like that. So,
Right.
so, so you were very young when you had Corey, right? Obviously very,
Yes.
and you didn't expect, like, you didn't expect it until you found out you were pregnant, basically. Is it right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
so what was Brianna like the day before and then the day after?
I mean, I was like so young. I was just being a kid. I was, going to high school, just like hanging out with my friends, going to the mall. Like I was just being a kid. And, after I found out I was pregnant, it's like, okay, now you're a grown up. You have to go get a job. It was like just completely different. And, I was fine with that though, because I wanted Corey,
Right.
you know. So, and he was the biggest blessing, even though it came from such a horrible thing and a horrible person. I mean, Corey was the complete opposite of Chris, and
Well,
he
yeah,
was
it's because he grew
complete.
up with his mom, so you're not gonna be like your fuckface father. Crazy, which is sad because you would want your kids to grow up with their dad, but with him, shit, grow up fatherless. We would prefer that, Fuck all that shit. That guy was, I mean, again, first day injuries, you already know something's wrong. Like something big, like okay, we need to stop letting you have the kid. Like it's like you're a child. You can't have him because you don't know how to contain yourself. Like that's the most non-manly thing possible. Not being able to control your emotions to your own child, to a fucking 6-year old. Like if he was the worst kid in the world, like cuss you out, spit at you, kick you when you're not looking at him, you're like that still doesn't justify you knocking the shit out of him. Maybe a little lashing or something, but come on. Gregor is over here being a shithead from the very start.
Completely different. I don't think he had an ounce of his attitude or demeanor in
What's
his
up,
body,
Rosie?
because he was nothing like him. And I apparently, when you're raised by someone, like, you act like them, you're raised with manners. And thankfully Chris didn't raise him, because, who knows? But yeah, he was nothing like Chris.
There was a picture and I made a comment that this is the only picture that this guy has of his child, yet we're seeing all these pictures of Brianna and her son. So do you
Yeah.
know the picture I'm talking about? The one where it looks like Corey's asleep and Chris has got a stupid grin on his face. And I've heard rumors that that picture was taken the day of him going to the hospital.
That, yeah, it was an hour before. And I've haven't actually really like looked at the picture, because it's very
So this is the infamous picture, bro. Everybody knows this. It's funny to say though. She has all these pictures, right? Boom. You got that one. You got this one. You got this. You just got picture after picture after picture with her. But the only picture that we can find with Gregor and his fucking son is this one. And at first you look at it, you think it's a cute picture. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, maybe this was before shit got bad. But no, he's over here smiling while the kid seems to be unconscious. Why are you smiling? This was the most interesting. Not even interesting. I just don't have. It's just a lack of words. This is the most. I should say the most disturbing picture, because when you look at it, he seems almost happy. 2:06 p.m. April 2nd. So that's 2:06. He called her around what, 3, 4? I think it was 3:30, right? So he literally took this picture probably trying to create an alibi. Or like, oh yeah, we were just watching TV. We were just having a father son time, and then he just got lethargic. Piece of fucking shit.
bothersome,
Mhm.
because you can kind of tell, like, Corey kind of looks blue in it. And it was um I, it's creepy to me, because you see Chris like smiling, and Corey doesn't look so good. And it's like, did he really not realize he was sick? Or is that him being, a weirdo? Like, serial killers like take photos or steal some, yeah.
Yeah, sadistic.
So
Because I was shocked when I heard that. I said, no, like that I couldn't wrap my head around that.
yeah, that was, Yeah, I believe they said it was like maybe over an hour, a little over an hour that he took that picture. And Corey had to be already,
Yeah, very much.
something wrong with him. Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Because it didn't even really like, from what I saw in court, because they kept bringing it up and I like would look down, but from what I saw, it just looked like, it didn't look like Corey 100%.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm shocked that he took that picture. He was
Yeah, it's
not a smart
scary.
guy, not a smart guy at all.
No, no,
Not a
the
smart
things he
guy at all.
did, he claims he's so smart. He has a master's degree. He was a teacher, and he's, so rich and this, whatever. But he's Googling things that are gonna get you caught. They're gonna look at your phone. He's running away he's like the
Idiot.
dumbest criminal. I thank God for that. I'm so
Yeah, I
happy
was
that
just
he
gonna say.
is.
Right,
But
right.
he's stupid. He really is. That master's degree doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have common sense attached to it. You could be
Right.
smart and you could be street smart.
Right.
Street smart, he's not so street smart. So so I mean your plans definitely changed from one day to the next when you found out that you were going to be a mom, but it was always wow, I'm excited about this. This is just the way I'm going to go with it. I mean,
Hmm.
I
What's up
always
behind the
wanted you
mask?
always wanted children, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So yeah, definitely. But I think the thing that really sold me on like, yes, I'm gonna keep this baby was when I went to my parents and they were like, okay, well, do you want to keep it? And I was like, yeah. And they were excited. They're like, oh yeah, like we're gonna help you raise the baby. So I was like, okay, I can do it because they're gonna help me. And they were happy. We were all happy once Corey was here. And
Right.
we all had to change our lives. It wasn't just me. My mom was like she was almost like his second mom because we lived with her and I was like a baby myself.
Right.
So, my whole family helped raise him.
Right. Right. That's awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
Why, why wasn't there any charges against Chris? Why didn't you ever think about, when you realized what happened and then I mean you had DNA and then the math will always be there. I mean, he
Yeah.
will always be his age of 21 and you will always only have been 16. How come that
Yes.
never
So at the time that this happened, I think I was just like confused and kind of scared because I'm, 16 drinking and, ultimately some type of drug. So I was like afraid at that time. But I think it was right around after Corey passed that I actually did try to go file charges and it didn't work out. He never got charged.
yeah, probably
Yeah, it's
well
probably too late, probably too long. Yeah. And it's one of those things, it's probably like you don't know if that's what happened, like if you should use the R word, like I don't know if I remember it, maybe I wanted it, maybe so it's probably a lot of questions that you have and it's like, wait, but I don't remember. So he must have did it's rough, A lot of people I feel like go through that and then if they're not sure 1000%, if they're not sure 1000%, then they don't want retaliation, especially for a strong family like the Gregor family. If you're not certain, I mean, even if you are certain, daddy might come after you and, you know, he might pull you over at the side of the road out of nowhere.
now I can't
Yeah.
imagine.
Well, I don't know if it's illegal, like statutory, what the age is for New Jersey. So I don't know if it was like legal, but yeah, it was more. So I know they tried to contact Chris and he, didn't answer, no comment to the police that I reported it to. And then it went to, they had to get it indicted, the charge. And they were like, it's such a he said, she said, which is, so common. Everyone's, oh yeah, he said, she said. So, and it
So
was also,
it wasn't a matter of the age anymore. It was just a matter of if it was consensual. Yeah,
right.
I don't know what the age of consension with in New Jersey
Yeah.
that is.
Well, I know that 16 and 21 shouldn't be okay
Of course
because
not.
I was literally, in 10th grade and when you're 21, I'm trying to think of what year of college you would be in. Like second or third, right?
Yeah, yes.
So
You
it's like
be
completely
done with it.
different lives.
You
Yeah,
know you know better, especially if your dad's,
yeah,
you just know better.
absolutely.
Think so
Yeah,
anyway. You think so. So yeah, that was something when I found that out. And the jury knew nothing. Well, I mean, they knew the
no,
math. They just didn't know. Well, they have to, I think they know your age and they obviously know his age and they could figure that out, but they didn't know how Corey was conceived.
right, yeah,
Which is
And I
crazy to
think
me.
that was
This whole trial, I thought that I thought that that was known, so it was just gonna be an easy, obvious slam dunk. But they left so many things out about Chris. It's crazy. It's like, how do you leave that out? Like, how do you leave out the conception of a child that started from something terrible? But nah, he needs a fair trial. You don't bring that shit up. Come on, why would you bring that up? Like, no, that's negative. I don't understand how that is even a thing. But hey, I guess I don't understand the court of law like that because what the fuck?
I don't understand why the laws are always more in the protection of the person that's being charged than the victim. I just don't
yeah,
understand that.
yeah. Throughout this whole process, because we've been in contact with the prosecutor's office, because we were working with them, giving them information, whatever, and so I've known these people for a long time, like the last 3 years since Corey's passed. And each like hearing there would be something that I could tell it was just more in its favor in Chris than Corey. I'm like, Corey's the victim, so why is this guy getting all these rights? He even tried to get the treadmill video not to be included in the trial. Like he even went as far as doing that, and thank God that didn't happen. But they just criminals have more rights than 6-year-old victims.
Yeah, I'm glad that that didn't take place. I'm surprised. I mean, I don't blame them for trying, but
Well, of course, yeah,
so glad that that didn't, and
yeah,
it's tough when his dad is who his dad is. And I
yeah,
knew who his dad was the minute he said something about the sporting. As soon as he said, I
hmm,
said to myself, yeah, he's the agitator here. This guy's
yeah,
the agitator and his son, and that's not an excuse, but you could see that. I mean, all of a sudden it just opened up for me. It opened up. Yeah, this guy is trying to make his dad happy. Everything else is secondary to him. For
yeah,
That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
yeah,
When you're a dad and you recognize that, you really need to step away and say, that's not the way you're raising your kid because you're raising your kid out of fear, and I mean, you're just screwing them up that way.
And I mean, that was his dad's fault on top of that. I'm sure his dad walked up to him. He's like, son, you're a man now. You had this baby. You were hiding it from the family, and now you're making us look bad. I swear to God, he told him that. He told him that to his face. Son, you're making the whole family look bad. Okay? So what you're going to go do is you're going to take that kid. You're going to put him in the fucking house. You're going to pay child support if you have to. You know what? Fuck that. We're taking sole custody. How about that? Because she's a drug addict. We don't want her to represent us. So we're going to go ahead and take that. He didn't want to do this. So, I mean, Chris obviously did it, and he's a fucking piece of shit. We know that. But his father really spurred it on because I guarantee you, he told him straight up, like, yo, check it out. I don't really give a fuck about the kid like that, but you're making us look bad.
I mean, that's
yeah,
my personal opinion about that. And
yeah.
you said that the rest of his family was like really messed up as it was. So
Well, yeah, I
not
think
his sister so much, you said, but you said his other brother, but you said
yeah,
his sister was very kind to Corey until all of this
yeah, she
happened and then
was.
she had to pick sides.
Yeah, that was upsetting, with his sister. I was like, I was so sure like she knows how Chris is. Like they all do. And she's the only one that was like iffy about him and wouldn't always back him up. So I was surprised that she stayed on that side.
Did he have any like, because I don't want people to remember him on the treadmill. I
I
don't want
agree.
him to be
Yeah.
that kid on the treadmill. So like, I mean, did he have any favorite things that he liked to do? Did he have any favorite television shows?
So he liked anime a lot. He liked Dragon Ball Z. He liked Naruto. He dressed up as both of them for Halloween. And he was very artistic. Like he loved to paint, he loved to draw. One thing I will say is he was never into sports until. they came around. But he liked to draw. Like we would sit for hours and just like, you go on YouTube and you put in how to draw, whatever. We'd sit there and do that for like hours. He loved art. He loved drawing. He loved painting. Um, he loved, I'm trying to think of what those things were called. Beyblades or something. They were like a toy that he really liked. He liked scary movies. I
Really?
probably shouldn't have let him watch all of them, but oh, he loved them. Yeah, he loved them. Um, yeah, and he loved the solar system. That's a big thing that, people ask me, like, did he actually like that? He loved it. Like
He did.
he knew everything. He knew the names of like these random stars. We would sit there and draw, planets all day. So, yeah.
That's really cool. That's really
Yeah, he was very smart and just like artistic. That's how I would describe him.
And when he found out he was going to be spending more time with his dad, because I heard where you and your mom both said, every kid wants a dad. So when he found out, hey, this is my dad, and was he excited? Was he glad?
I think he was confused. I mean, it's hard when a child's 5 and you're like, oh yeah, here's your dad. They're like,
Yeah, he's like, I only have a mother. What are you talking about? This weirdo fucking blockhead ass looking man. The fuck shit. And kids can feel kids can feel energy, man. That energy shift when he got around this evil ass person. Because you have to remember, us adults, we're already jaded. We know what evil feels like. We know what negative energy feels like. But for a kid, you're only surrounded by positive energy, and then all of a sudden you get this feeling, you get thrown around this person, and it's just this tension. You don't know what it is. It's just scary. That shit must have been terrible. That shit was probably horrible. Yeah, damn right, he was probably confused because the guy is evil, and kids can sense that.
what does that even mean? He doesn't even know what it I mean, of course he knew what a dad was, but he just never knew one existed for him, you know?
Damn, that's
Right.
fucked up.
So, and when Chris first came around, I like wanted nothing to do. I didn't even be like near him. So, I think Corey could kind of sense that also, and it was hard for me to try to pretend to get along with him as well. So, I don't think there's ever been a point where he was like excited, like, oh, I have a dad now. I think it's always been he was kind of like anxious and nervous about that.
Oh, that's terrible. So
Yeah.
they didn't have any like at all, even because I mean, so from my understanding, it was like the last 2 years that of Corey's life that and 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 you never lost any kind of custody. You okay? There's okay. Let me stop myself. The reason why Corey lived not even full time per se, he lived 1.5 day more at Chris's was because of the school district you wanted to get him into. Is that correct? Is that what I heard your mom say the other day?
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
So he only lived a half a day more with his dad than he did with you.
Right.
Yeah, because that wasn't when I heard that, I agree that wasn't the way we took it. It wasn't shown like that. That lawyer, I have to say, did a good job at that because that didn't come out well. That he made it seem like, excuse me, you lost custody of Corey, which you might have done. That's my next question, but
Mhm.
it wasn't all the way through to now and or then, and it was simply that he was only a half a day more at Chris's for a school district, which was not clear for people.
Yeah. So I'll explain it better. So when Chris came into Corey's life, he like slowly got visitation and then eventually it was like custody and then yeah, it was he was there for like an extra day so he could go to Monroe Township School, which is where I went to school. It's where Chris went to school. It's a very good school, so we agreed. And eventually I think it was like January 2020, I did lose custody because of I failed a drug test in court. And then after that, he had majority custody. And then I had the visitation up until he passed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But he
So,
didn't start out like it wasn't like he came into his life and he had full custody. No, it
right,
took a while to get to that point.
right, right. And So, and I know that you've been clean since February, am I correct? Of 2021, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
congratulations on that. I used to be a drug
Yeah.
counselor. And
Okay. Yeah.
let me just tell you that some of my favorite people, and I mean this,
Yeah.
are recovering drug addicts.
Yeah.
Well,
People, I
damn.
feel like
Well,
people just,
damn, Toddy. Kind of harsh. You know, my favorite people, they be the fucking recovering drug addicts and shit. Fuck yeah. No, fuck. I fuck with her. That's funny as hell. Yeah, she couldn't make no mistakes with Chris around. None. Made that one little mistake, his family came swooping in.
think like so lowly of the like, drug addicts or, recovering addicts, but they could be some of the best people. Like, we're not evil. We're not
They're
horrible
the people
people,
that feel the most. And
Right.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
that is why they medicate themselves.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
they feel the most. So, you know, all the thing is you just need more tools. I'm not playing drugs counselor now, but you just
I
need
get it. Yeah.
tools to, but it certainly doesn't. And the worst bit is when I found out, because I had people commenting, that maybe shouldn't have been commenting in the comments that Chris, had his own drug problems.
He
And of
did.
course that didn't come out.
Yeah. Yeah. So he had a very bad drinking problem, which because it's not, heroin or this or that, people think it's okay. But I think, part of his problem was also he had like a drinking issue. And he also did drugs, but
What
I
drugs?
wouldn't call him like so much of a drug addict, but I think an alcoholic I would.
Okay, one thing I'm gonna call bullshit on. She keeps saying, yeah, he does drugs. What drugs? Tell us what drugs. What? You can't just say, yeah, he does drugs. Oh, yeah, he does alcohol, but he also does drugs. Like, okay, you're fucking me up right now. Like, my head is fucked up. Either you're gonna tell me what he's doing or don't tell me at all. That's how I see that. That's that one little thing. It's almost like, are we assuming he had a drug problem? Or, just saying. Because clearly, when you say he has a drug problem, nobody thinks alcohol. So, what drugs are you talking about? That's the only little thing about this that I'm kind of like, yeah, oh no.
Had a very bad drinking problem, which because it's not, heroin or this or that, people think it's okay. But I think, part of his problem was also he had like a drinking issue. And he also did drugs, but I wouldn't call him like
What drugs? Please. You're, anyways.
so much of a drug addict, but I think an alcoholic, I would say that. And it was bad. I mean, he drank every day.
Yeah, alcohol, and again, from past experience and personal experience, I would much rather hang out with somebody who was strung out on heroin than somebody who
Yeah.
changed their whole personality on alcohol.
Hmm.
Because
Oh yeah.
alcohol is that Jekyll and Hyde, where heroin, will make you nod out. It will not make you go nuts on somebody, where alcohol can
Yeah.
definitely do that. And people
Yeah.
don't realize how
Fuck
dangerous.
it. Do some meth and see what happens. Start tweaking out on everybody. Start banging your head against people. Hey, Green Eye Bandit. Shit. Shout her out. Shout her out. Shout her out. I thank you, Green Eye Bandit.
Alcohol can be until they're at the hands of an alcoholic that changes on you on a dime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the
So,
island fun, baby. Come on
um,
now.
well, I'm glad that you're clean and sober about that. I mean,
Yeah.
especially because you made it through the most horrific time of your life, which you
Yeah.
can look back on and say, there's nothing that will stop me now. You have that
Yeah.
background. So that's great. Um, so I said this right away when I saw Chris because of his build and such, and that look of rage that was in his face. Again, he didn't help himself either, to be honest with you, thankfully, in the trial,
Yeah.
because he always looked so angry. And that is like we used to call that like roid rage, like a steroid rage.
Yeah.
And I heard your mom say that one night, I guess he was drinking too much and it was over by your neighborhood, and I guess he got pulled over. Of course, none of that's on record. That's what a
Right.
dad could do for you, a dad in the police force could do for you. So, but there were hypodermic needles. That was probably for steroids more so than anything.
Weed is too a drug. It usually is a start to other drug problems. I strongly disagree with that. I do agree that it's a drug, and I do agree that it's addictive, and I do agree that it can make people counterproductive, and it could probably fuck some people's lives up. It's sometimes it's just not meant for some people, because it's addictive. But a gateway drug, nah. I've never smoked a blunt and said, "Fuck, I just want to do some crack, bro." Or I've never really smoked a blunt and said, "Damn, I just want to rail a line of fucking coke, dude." Like shit, I'm just trying to do some fucking cocaine, dog. Like, fuck, why am I doing weed? Yeah, the gate is weighing me over to some cocaine. Never in my life.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. I've never, talked to him and he told me, yes,
No, with that.
I definitely like did steroids, but yeah, you can look at him. Everyone that, I've seen that doesn't personally know him, but like they looked at his picture, they're like his forehead, like he looks like he's done steroids. And I'm like, he probably did. I mean, because he's not always been like the shape he's in now.
Right.
He's been, so it's possible. I don't know if like that goes away eventually or like it stays forever after steroid use, but like I don't think he used it like too recently, but I think he has in the past.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay.
No.
So, what do you think the number one misconception about everything? I mean, so there might be one or two, three misconceptions, but what do you think?
Yeah. I think the biggest one is that people just think that, especially after doing these interviews and, seeing comments and everything, people just think that I just sat back and, was just, doing drugs in an alley and just like ignoring Corey while he was used by Chris. Like that's what people make it seem like. But from the beginning, the first time I felt like he was being abused, I was reporting, and these people just didn't do anything. They were dragging Corey out of my house to go see Chris. Corey's kicking and screaming because he doesn't want to go see him. He used to, hide in closets and but these DIFUS or DCPMP workers would come there and say, you have to go. Like they had to bring him and they would pick him up and take him. So I wasn't just saying like, I wasn't letting this happen. I was doing everything that I felt like I could do. And even looking back now, the only thing that I could have done more was go run to Mexico with Corey. That would have been the only other thing that I could think of that would have solved the
See,
problem.
now she's thinking, what did I tell y'all? Hit the road. But yeah, that's some movie type shit. It's probably more difficult to just run away with your child because now, the second they catch you, you lose your child immediately.
Or, you know, did some criminal things, but I don't want to say that, but you know,
I agree. I saw that in the comments and
yeah,
what were you supposed to do? If you would have if you would have not followed the rules, they would have taken Corey and you would have not seen him at all.
Exactly. But if she didn't get caught, then we're talking something different. We're in a different level. Thank you,
yeah,
Moonbee.
I
yeah,
mean, and there would have been charges brought up against you. So
yeah.
there was, but do you think that
Hell
is
yeah.
the system, or do you think that maybe Corey's dad? I'm not trying. I mean, not Corey's dad, but Chris's dad.
Crystal.
I mean, and I'm not trying to throw everything at this guy. I mean, because now you've spoken with people, you've done justice for our boys with that other young lady.
Yeah.
So I mean, do
Oh
you think
wow.
that's our
Hold on, wait, what? Was this Corey when he was small? Corey for our boys? No, this is the other child. Okay, okay. He was a pretty baby.
um?
Yeah.
So I mean, do you think that's our system, or do you think that people that are involved in the system, like Chris's dad, have a
Yeah.
pull and are able to change things? And do you think our system is really that broken for
No, it's
children?
really that broken.
Well, I definitely do think it is broken, but this case is like so, with Corey, it's like it was so clear. Like anybody should have been able to see that. So I think not only is it broken and like the workers are just lazy, I think it also is David being a cop, them living in a
No,
big
no, no, it's not. And I shout her out for having that opinion, but it's not because you go to a different state, you go to this state, you go to that state, you go on top of the world, well, on top of the country, everywhere. CPS, it don't matter if somebody's in law enforcement, it don't matter nothing. CPS just doesn't do shit. They just don't do nothing. They come in, they take pictures, they do reports, they ask questions, and then they fuck off every single time. They don't do shit. The kid has to be getting beat in front of them. Like, they have to show up while he's mid fucking gut punch for them to take you away. Damn near. So it's not, I mean, I'm sure Gregor's father helped in some way, but that's not the reason that nothing happened. It would have happened anyway, regardless if that was his dad or not, because the system just doesn't do shit.
House and all that put together, and we don't live in this big fancy house. My dad's not a cop, so I think that's what it was. They just saw us as the bottom of the barrel, and they were up here, so these people should have Corey, not these people. So I think it was a mixture of the system sucks, and then on top of that, add David Gregor, and there was no chance.
So that's so horrible. That's just,
yeah. It was like, while this was going on and I'm reporting, I felt like I was going nuts because I'm running around like trying to make these people believe that Corey's being abused, and they're just like how do these people not see this?
Sissy,
I would
thank you
call
for the
them so
gifted.
many times. I used to go on the website.
Thank you for the gifted, Sissy. Shout you out, man. Again from Sissy. Stop playing.
For DCPMP, and I would do research, and it says red flags for abuse, and they list fingerprint bruises, black eyes, bite marks. Okay, check. Corey has all those. I'd call them. So I just checked all these marks. What's going on? You see this? And it was like no one would just look.
so that's my next question. So I understand the system and the bureau. I understand the system, but when these people are actually coming to your house and they're looking at Corey, was there anybody that you realized? I mean, was there anybody that you felt was like, holy shit, like this is really happening? Maybe I can't do anything about it. Did you see anything in somebody's eyes that said, I believe this woman and I believe this child's being abused, but my hands are tied?
Yes. So that happened with the first
At
caseworker that
least.
we ever received. I don't know if I should say her name, but yeah, she believed Corey. She believed us. She saw right through that family. Like us. She was like, she could see through them. So,
And she did nothing.
she reported, and she wrote
and she did nothing. I mean, let's not say and she did nothing, but and nothing happened. What did she do? She reported. Yep, that's what they do, baby. Oh, that looks suspicious. Let's go ahead and report that. Man, listen. Bullshit. That's all they do. That's literally all they do. And see, this is what I'm trying to say. It's probably not even her fault because that's the protocol. The system is broken.
report, and she actually told us personally that her supervisor made her take all this stuff out.
See?
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we got a new caseworker. Never talked to this woman again.
Damn, that actually does sound like some strings. What the fuck?
So, yeah.
So that's where I would think that maybe somebody knew somebody, right? I mean, that's how I would take that. You don't have to.
So the caseworker got removed when they believed her. So that does give me some fishy vibrations.
Take it that I think that's the way I would.
I did. Yeah, I did. So, she was just replaced all of a sudden after she felt the same way we did. It was so odd. And, now looking back, we realize that's because she agreed with us. This could have been stopped the first time it happened, but then they silenced the woman that was seeing what we saw.
Right. The advocate.
Yeah.
I mean, they are their advocates. They're supposed to be.
They should be
for children, and scream when something is seen. Mandatory reporters for sure. And so was David Gregor.
Yeah.
And should still be a mandatory reporter, I would believe. I was a drugs counselor. I think I'm still a mandatory reporter,
Yeah.
So that's not good. So how'd Corey get his name?
Corey
Travis, right?
Okay, so Corey was just a random name. I thought of it one day. That's how I came up with my daughter's name the same way. Me and my boyfriend were just talking and we were like, Eliana, and then we picked her name. But for Corey, that was just random. But his middle name is actually, he's named after my best friend. He passed when he was 19. He overdosed. And he actually passed away like a month or two before Corey was born, and he was supposed to be his godfather.
Wow.
So, I used his name as his middle name.
Right.
So, and actually, I want to mention, Chris actually tried to get Corey's middle name and name changed. So the last name I kind of understood. Like I was fine with hyphening it, Micciolo Gregor, but he wanted to change his middle name too. So I thought that was odd, like to steal his identity almost. So
Let me tell you
Oh,
something. I had a dog, and I'm not at all trying to compare, but the
identity almost. So
let me tell you something. The I had a dog, and I'm not at all trying to compare, but
I understand, yeah.
I had a dog, and when I adopted her, her name was Faith.
thank you,
And I
sissy.
kept her middle name. I kept it as Faith because I
Mhm.
felt like that's part of who she was, a dog.
Exactly, yeah.
So why
Yeah.
would you take that away, especially when there was a connection of somebody to that name? It's
Exact.
not like a random
Well,
name.
I told Chris that was, who he was named after. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna name my kid after a dirty drug addict?" That was his.
Oh my God, that crossed my mind. I was, wow. I almost made a joke, but I was like, nah, it's inappropriate because I was like, Chris was like, man, I don't want my child named after a drug addict who overdosed. I should have said it now because that's crazy. Even I was like, okay, he probably didn't take it that far. Nah, he took it there. He definitely would take it that far. He would take it that far. That's crazy. First thing that popped into my head, why did Chris want to change the name? Because it was a dirty drug addict, quote unquote. Wild, bro. That shows the type of person he is. He's the type of guy who sees like a homeless dog and will like kick the dog and will like chase it and do shitty things to it. That's the vibe I get off of him. You know when you just I don't know if you guys grew up in high school and it's like you have your group of friends but there's always that one friend who just does evil fucked up shit. You ever had that friend and it's like, dude, what's wrong with you? And he'll kick the dog that's homeless or he'll stone the birds out of the nests or he'll just do fucked up shit. And everybody's like, dude, that's Chris for sure.
Right.
Answer to that. So, and it was just weird. He was trying to make his middle name William or something. I'm like, well, who's William? No one in his family's name
We
is
don't fucking
William, so
know.
I thought it was weird. And he would not agree to hyphenate his last name either. He just wanted to be Gregor, and thank
Right.
God that never happened. But yeah, I fought that hard. I was like, no way. We had to see a mediator, and the guy's like, "Oh well, and I was like, "Nope, nope, nope, nope. Corey is 6 years old. We're not changing his last name all of a sudden. Are you kidding? It's
Right.
weird."
Right. Yeah, that's about control. I think that that's about control.
Yeah, I think it's also he doesn't want him to have my last name
Of
because it's
course.
not
Of
Gregor,
course.
whatever. Gregor,
He
it's
doesn't
not
like the
good enough.
Italian last name. I like the
I guess
Italian
not.
last
I
name.
do too. I love my last name.
Of
So,
course, of course.
yeah,
And there's vetoes in my family.
yeah,
There's like when there's one, there's like five vetoes, right? So
yeah.
there's a
Right.
bunch of vetoes. If there's one, there's five of them. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, what do you want to talk a little bit about Corey's law? What do you see for that? What does that look like?
Yeah. So I think
Don't drop the soap, Chris. That's crazy. Crystal, you thinking in the right direction.
my biggest thing is I don't know anything about the law. So I want to find someone that knows more about it. And I reached out to the governor of New Jersey to see if we can sit down and, I want to see where everything went wrong and fix it. Because at some point something was wrong. Not only, I feel like, you know, DCP&P took or made us go to this hospital for a child abuse exam. And then all of a sudden it was like, that night we should have been like, okay, well, Chris, he can't go back to Chris's. He's the suspected abuser, right?
He
But
should have
they
gone back to Chris's so many
ever really.
times.
Yeah, well, yeah, but this time it was like, okay, we're seeing professionals for this.
Right,
And at that point they had this video.
right.
You would think it'd be like, okay, so nothing. They
And
were like, you have to
pictures of
drop him
abuse.
off.
It's important. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
there are pictures of abuse. There, I mean, you can unfortunately see them online where you can see
Yeah.
the, the eye where it's all red. You
And
can
that shit's crazy. Like,
Thing. They
and
were like, you have
pictures
to
you know
drop
what?
of
him
Do I have
off.
that picture?
it's important. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
there are pictures of abuse. There, I mean, you can unfortunately see them online where you can see
Yeah.
the,
You see that shit?
the eye where it's all red. You could see the bruise. You could see, listen, I've seen these online, so I can only imagine how many times you've taken pictures
What's up, Phantom
and,
Fox?
shown them 100 times,
Yeah.
even to the
Yeah.
point, from my understanding, where you guys your family would make multiple calls the same day about the same thing, all to be ignored.
Yeah, I mean, we were harassing these people at like a certain point. Like I was sure they were gonna like block me from making reports or something. That's what it felt like. They were annoyed with us. But it's like we were seeing this happen and you like I said, we felt like we were going crazy, like running around like a crazy person because we're really like there's absolutely nothing we can do except kidnap Corey. And I
Yep.
shouldn't even be considered that
Yep.
because I'm his mom. But
That's what
at
the
the time,
that's what the fuck you should have did, low key. And I bet you she would have did it if she knew that was the only way out. I mean, you don't expect. I don't think you expect them to kill your child. So it's on your mind. It's like, man, I could just run away with this kid. But why would I do that? We're just gonna wait for CPS. We're gonna wait for. Man, I don't think she ever thought it was gonna get that serious.
he had custody. So like that was the only thing we could do. And I felt like that would screw everything up. Then I'll never see him again and Chris will have him forever. And this would have happened. So it's like there was no winning in any situation because these people did not listen. And if they did listen and just, were cautious even, like they were just like, okay, maybe she's, it's not all the way true. Maybe, he's not really abusing him, but it kind of looks like it. So let's just be
What
cautious
is wrong with
and,
these
take
people?
his custody away until we can investigate fully. That's all I asked for in that court order
Yep.
was to take him to, I wanted full custody so DCP&P can do a full investigation and decide if he's being abused or not. I didn't ask for anything permanently. So um, the fact that that was denied was hard because I was so sure it was going to be, what is the word? Denied.
Approved.
Approved. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, you would think, I mean, I don't know what, I agree. I saw you do an interview with Jay from Guilty, of Crime,
Yeah.
and she was, what does it take? What would it take? And
Yeah.
ask yourself, and also, yes, every part of the United States is shorthanded, every part,
Yeah.
but that's not an excuse because in the meantime, look at what happened. And
Yeah.
Child Protective Services has failed a bunch of children in the last
Yeah.
couple years. Unfortunately, so many in all different states, not just New Jersey. So there is
Yeah.
a systematic problem that is not working.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's going to take for them to get it, but whatever Corey's law looks like to be the voices would be
Yeah. Yeah.
for the people that, because here's the thing, and I said this because you saw the thing that I did beforehand. It
Yeah.
was lack. He had a voice. First of all, he had a voice. He was saying,
Yeah.
I heard the recording of what he was saying, what was going
Yeah.
on with his dad. And
Yeah, she had whole
then
recordings. Like, explain to me in what universe you don't play the recording of the child himself, the dead kid, who's saying that he's scared to go back there. What? Go to
from that voice came.
Go to Guilty of Crime right now. You'll see it. She is right before Breanna's interview, She's having a whole conversation with this child and he's explaining to her, but that doesn't go into court. It's almost like, do you want this guy to go free? Do you want the jury to not know shit? Like, do you want them to be completely fucking out of the loop? Like, I know we don't want them to know all the things, so this unbiased, but that needed to go in. Like, certain things like this, it doesn't make sense. They need to change the law when it comes to kids, because I notice whenever it's a kid, 3 years, 5 years, probation. You know, as long as the kid isn't dead, like this case, he's gonna get a good 30. As long as that kid is not dead, 3 years, 5 years, 5 year probation, 3 year probation, a year in jail. Ridiculous timing, and it's because of shit like this. Like, the jury can't see shit. They don't know nothing. Anyways, I'm talking like Hinyard now. They don't know nothing, guys.
And four other voices from just your house alone at the same
Right.
time
Yeah.
yelling and screaming. So it wasn't that his voice was quiet. It,
Nah, he's not.
and
Yeah.
that's the hardest part. Have you heard from them at all? And you might not be able to talk about it. I would certainly hope that you have something going against them. There is nothing that could bring your child back. Unfortunately, the only way to hurt certain people is financial, you know?
Hinyard
Yeah.
speak.
So yeah, I do have a lawsuit against them. It's been ongoing since last year, but we kind of, there's a legal term for it, but it kind of paused while the criminal trial was going on. And I think the reason for that was to see, is he getting found guilty of this? Is he not? So I think that will resume soon. But yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is just I want them to admit that they did wrong and to apologize. That's bigger than anything for me. And then change and then do something to make it better, because this is so like black and white. Like, you should have been able to see this from a mile away. And it's like to cause so much stress and anxiety while Corey was still here for Corey and myself and my family. Like, we felt, like I said again, crazy. We're like, is this really happening at this point? Like, are we just imagining and no one else can see it? Like, that's how crazy it got.
Yeah, and I can only imagine, because look at what the end result was. I saw that sign. That
Right.
sign said it all. How safe is he now? You know, that sign
Yeah, yeah.
said it all. But let me just tell you this, and I'm just gonna put it out there. Get as much money as you can. And the reason being is because then you could hire anybody you need to hire to make Corey's Law come to fruition.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's not about
Yeah.
you being money hungry.
Sue the shit out of them. I mean, be money hungry. Who gives a fuck? Sue the fuck out of them. Take all their money. That's what I would do. They clearly care about the money and the status and the you know what I mean? It ain't nothing better than seeing in the newspaper the Gregor family gets sued for $5 million by the Breanna Micciolo family. Ooh, that sounds good. A cool little $5 million. Just a cool little, throw a little $5 million on them. Make them live off of their whatever they have left. That would be nice. That would be good. Just five. They could afford it too.
It's because
Right.
That's what they're talking about. I think they're talking about suing the Gregor family.
Is to fight this fight and to make as much noise as possible for the children that don't have the voice of parents and don't even have their own voice, and even those that do have their own voice that are being squashed as well.
Right.
So you should get just an apology, yes, but then I would take what I could and make all the difference in the world. So that my thing is, I always believe that the minute you stop talking about somebody, they didn't exist, because that's all that's left. You know what I mean? All we have is their story, and he has only almost 7 years of a story. He didn't have much, unfortunately, of a story. And what we do know, again, is so negative. It's not negative about him, but the story is just so negative that
it is.
Something come out of it that makes a world of difference for generations is just, however much money you need for that to happen, that's the greater good in all of this.
Right. That's a big thing that would happen, if I did win that lawsuit. And I've even been looking into, like, I don't know like I said, the laws for this, but a safe house, for children that are being abused, and maybe, let's go there. We think we're being abused, keep us safe until we can figure out what's going on. But
Right.
I don't know how legal that is. Like, I don't know if that's kidnapping also. That's something I'd have to look into, but that's just like a thought, because we needed to hide. That was like the only we to hide. And
Right.
then, like I said, and then we needed someone to help us figure out what we can do legally,
Right.
because there was nothing we could do. There literally was nothing.
Well,
Oh
you had
shit, Green Eye Bandit, she out of here. Have a great night, Green Eye Bandit. I didn't even see the message.
said it in the other interview, like, okay, so if they weren't ready to give you custody for whatever reason, why didn't they at least keep him safe by
And
someone
I listen,
with their
I
hand?
know, foster care is bad. I've heard
Why
horror
not your
stories, but
mom? Why not
or
your mom?
anybody, an uncle, anyone in my family. I don't really trust his family, so I wouldn't say anyone there, but anybody, you
Right.
know, I would have been, he would have been better off than going back to his house that day. Was the worst possible thing.
Facts.
That decision they made for him to go back there was, you know, and like I said, I don't think, it's just something you never think could happen to you. Even in the situation we were in, with, him abusing him,
You don't think that's gonna
um,
happen?
it just never seemed like, it would actually happen. But we thought it, like, oh my God, because we used to compare it to the Gabriel Fernandez, how, I read about that, and I couldn't even watch the trial, and this is before anything happened.
Right.
And it's like, this is our life now. Like, what we just, we used to see, that's our life. And it's so hard to, realize, like, how did this happen? And it shouldn't have happened. That's the hardest part. Is
What's up,
there's so
Shadow?
many things that could have been done by people that are their job is to do so, and they didn't.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely didn't happen. I don't
Yeah.
understand. I don't understand. There was two medical examiners. There was one, the first one said that Corey died natural causes. Am I right?
So the actual medical examiner for Ocean County that, actually did it, he came up with heart contusion, a heart bruise, and he said undetermined. That was his opinion. And then Dr. Andrew,
Yes.
he came in, they hired him to come in
Why was that? Why was a second medical examiner brought in? I'm glad who,
because,
but why was
um,
that?
yeah, so I guess that the original medical examiner, he left it as undetermined, and I don't think that sat well with the investigators, the detectives. And I was like, I was saying to them, I was like, this is my 6-year-old son. You can't tell me you don't know how he died. How dare you? Like, and I think that's kind of what pushed them to be like, okay, we need to get a second opinion, because
Did she speed up? Playback speed normal. Okay.
it's not like, no one should have to have undetermined as a manner of death, but especially a 6-year-old.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the undetermined thing was more so they didn't know what caused, because it's like, yeah, he died of a heart contusion. That is why he died. But cause of death is like, was it homicide? Was it self-inflicted? Was it, so they didn't want to throw homicide out there when it wasn't. And you can't throw natural causes out there either, because he's a fucking 6-year old. What natural causes? You know what I'm saying? So I think that undetermined was really just a placeholder. I think that really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but I don't think that ever was gonna stay that way. I think they just hold on. I think they just needed more information to be able to go ahead and say so. So which is what they did, but yeah.
you know
Exactly.
so
Right.
that's, I think that was where they went. And the first doctor I met with him, the medical examiner, and he was like another 90-year-old guy that doesn't want to retire. But so I was happy Dr. Andrew came in, and he's very smart, and I can't thank him enough for actually, doing the work and coming up with his conclusion.
Right. So you think it was maybe from your voice that pushed for a second. You think that they just would have just 7 years old? That's like, really?
No, so I don't think so. I don't think they would have done that. The detective that's on Corey's case, he seemed to really, really care about Corey, care about, everybody involved. And he wanted to get to the bottom of it too. And I think he realized very quickly that Chris was a very bad person. And he believed what we were telling him from the start. And he had to go out and get the evidence. He's the detective, and that's what he did. And he's one of the people that helped Corey get justice 100%.
What's his name? Do you want to tell his name?
Yeah, Dennis Mitchell. He's been there since the beginning, and he wanted justice for Corey just as much as us.
That's awesome because you had a lot of
Yeah,
people that weren't, working with you so shout out
yeah, yeah,
to the guy that worked with you,
yeah.
on that. So how does your life look now?
A lot different, obviously, but I have a daughter that's 1.5. I got pregnant about a year after Corey passed, and that year was I felt so empty because as a kid, I became a mom so young that that's all I knew.
Right.
So, I've been a mom since I was a teenager. So, not having Corey, it was so hard.
Mm.
Just waking up in the morning was just like,
Yeah, it's like part of her, Shit, had that kid forever. He's ingrained in your childhood too. It's probably different too. You have a kid that young.
what am I waking up for? And then I met my boyfriend. He's amazing. He's the opposite of Chris. He helped me through a lot. And then, we ended up having my daughter, and he's just like the dad that Corey deserved. And it's like it's really sad. I don't want to get too upset.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
touch you.
it's okay. I wish Corey had the chance, to have him as a dad because that's what he deserved. And it just sucks that Chris took that away from him. And I could say a lot about him, but we don't want to, get banned or something on YouTube.
I don't care about that. I just don't want
Yeah,
to really make this I want this more to be a story about Corey
Corey. Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
Chris, those that, have any kind of heart that saw that video, we already know what kind of piece of shit he is.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so it has been, solely focused on Chris, and then just like that treadmill video. And Corey, yeah, he was so much more than that. And he was so brave. The things he went through, and you wouldn't be able to tell. Like he was still, he tried to remain happy and positive, and he was just, yeah, he was very strong, and he was what I don't know what it's called, like an old soul. Is that what you call it? Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely was. Yeah,
Well, you had said that he was talking to you about God and
yeah,
you got peace in that, I hope that.
absolutely. Yeah, I just, I just feel like he knew. I don't feel like I know he did because of the
What are you guys talking about drama? Drama about what?
set things he said to us and the things he wrote. Like he knew it was happening. And I spoke to someone, after he passed, and they told me that three angels came.
Another Chris Watts Gregor? Pretty much. Gregor killed his little two girls. That's crazy. I don't know why parents do that shit. That shit is wild, bro. That shit is weird. That's some weirdo shit. I remember Gregor, and Gregor still fucks me up because not Gregor Watts. We understand Gregor's a fucking small dicked having ass bitch. He probably has a small dick. That's probably half the reason why he's so angry. Anyway, um, Watts was weird, bro. Like you killed your two little daughters. He said, "What was the last thing your daughter said?" Daddy, no. Dude is fucking freaky, dude. I don't know who the fuck could do that type of shit and then repeat it and not cry and break down. Dude, some fathers are just not meant to be fathers, bro.
And he accepted it, and it's people were saying like, why would they be okay with him accepting it? But he accepted it. He didn't tell anybody. The little things he said, but we're not picking that up and saying like, oh, this is about to happen.
Right,
But
right, right.
yeah, like he really, I don't know what happened. I don't know what I believe in what Corey believed in. He believed in God, and I really think that someone came down and told him that this was going to happen and it was going to be okay. And you know so I do find peace in knowing that he's okay, where he is. He's not getting hurt anymore.
Right, right.
Yeah, it just
So,
makes you want. It just, yeah, I guess. But it kind of just wants you to make. It makes you want him to suffer. It makes you want Gregor to really. And I know you're not supposed to want that, but it makes you really want him to suffer. It just it would fulfill your heart. You know what I'm saying? If you got to see him suffer, that's all I'm saying. Which is why capital punishment should come back. Why are we? What are we doing? Like, bring that shit back. Like the rope, the noose. Come on. What are we doing, guys? Have we really gotten so soft as a society that we forgot what actually works and what actually scares people to not do fucked up shit like this? Come on now.
Yeah.
how can, I have almost 9,000 in the community. How,
Yeah.
Fuck
how
yeah.
can, and,
Hey,
I
everybody
hope it,
go, if you're not subscribed to Toddy One Skip, go subscribe to her. She's dropping content every day, guys. She probably dropped a video just now. Who fucking knows? Always dropping shit. Toddy One Skip, boom bam, go sub to her. Get her to 9K.